Okay, I'm live. Hey, just waiting for the Facebook to gather the audience. I'm using the new Facebook Live tool, and I am happy with it. It's working rather well. I'm wondering if I can make the screen bigger. That I don't see. If anybody knows that, please shoot me a message for future reference to see if I can do that. All right. But it, like I said, it gives me a nice little box off to the side with comments, and I did a good job actually last time of doing some comments while I was live. And I'm going to give her a shout out in case she comes on. Heidi Cortman gave me a wonderful suggestion, and that's another thing that I want you to realize is that we all are in this together, but not I'm not talking about coronavirus, the pandemic. We're all in this world and this life together. So we could constantly be learning from one another. I learned a new thing this morning, which is why I got split attention quickly, but I was on a webinar and it said that when you are the host, you should have a second computer open just in case something goes wrong. And I never thought of that. I need to get a little more clarity on it, on how to have it, because I do have one. I'm opening up my other one now, and I want to see how to have it set. Am I going to have it set as me being a viewer or what? So anyway, all of that stuff is coming. But like I said, I just learned that this morning. I'm happy to be able to get that in. Um, oh, hey, Chris, you're on already. Oh, well, this is not showing me that someone is here. So what is happening? All right, okay. So just when you want to give the new system the props, it doesn't seem to be showing. So it says, well, Chris, I got a thing that said you like the video live, and I know I'm on it, but it doesn't show me that you're on it. So we got less than a minute to start the actual video, so we'll see what happens there. And hmm, interesting. Another thing on this new format, you don't get the thumbs up and the hearts and the smiles and things. You don't get the emoji. So a lot of different options with change. And that's why we have to always recognize that change is a constant thing. We're going through changes. But again, don't we all say that I'm going through some changes? Self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going through. I'm going to make it through. I'm going to come out on the other end. And that's really wonderful thing a wonderful thing. So I am wondering if anybody's on, would you put it in the chat? Oh, you know what? Now my other one is coming up. I'll see if that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Uh, and okay, well, one thing I don't do is I always say you don't penalize the people who are on time. And I always believe in starting my message on time, whether it's here on Facebook or live. And I'm excited for when this whole thing ends to be doing some live events for you. But anyway, so as you can read, oh, wait a minute, I don't even see it in the description. Oh man, this is up. See, now they making me want to go back to the making me want to go back to the old version. um, okay, thank you, Zed. Okay, somebody's here. Okay, and Willie is here. All right. Yeah, TGIF. That girl is fine. I mean, thank God it's Friday. But actually, that's just always one of my favorite taglines to say TGIF. But I also believe in much more strongly TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT. Thank God it's tonight. Because the blessing to be able to wake up, go through a whole day, and get a chance to do it all over again, we need to be thanking God all day. But thanks that though. Hey, Lourdes, because I don't see, like I said on the other one, it would show you how many people were on and they had the thumbs up and likes. Maybe oh, okay, good. I do now see that I can have my comment up there. Okay, that explains the session. Uh, okay, but that doesn't show me anything. Let me see. Can I do this? Oh, cool. I can do my own thumbs up. Very good. Okay, well, let's roll. All right. I'll set you on a roll because then amen, AMEN is a message everyone needs. So you got my acronyms going. That's what I like to do too. All right. And now, lastly, I can see on this other page if having the other computer open, how that affects. Oh, now I see. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's roll. Anyway, so I got a vitamin C in my mouth. Let me get. Thought I could hide under my tongue. I couldn't. But our message today, I'm continuing, and I'll give him one more shout out because I appreciate one of my younger brothers, Paulie, who gave me the suggestion. He said, "Why don't you have the message be one letter of the alphabet each time? That gives you 26 messages, and and then it's another way to absorb, and a great." Creative way to have another series, and I like the message, the suggestion that he gave me, and so I've decided I call this the gas series, and then GAS, and that's the glue alphabet series. So every time, hey Joaquina, every time will be a different letter of the alphabet. So I started this series on Wednesday, and I'll be broadcasting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And those of you who've been with me before know that glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything. I originally started it as a Wednesday, where people say Wednesday is hump day, and I say Wednesday is actually the glue that keeps the week beginning and the week end together. So it was Glue Wednesday, and the glue is our faith, and that's God's love undoes everything. So then with the pandemic, I decided to extend this message to using Mondays and Fridays as well. So we've got Glue Monday and Friday. And so now what we're doing is we started the alphabet series. So we did our first letter on Wednesday, and we did the letter A. Today we're using the letter B. Now, one of the reasons that I do this also is I try to teach people how you can be creative in your writing, whether you're journaling, whether you're blogging or writing a letter, a resume. What you want to do is take a letter. I would take a word and throw the vowels out and then use the consonants and create the message through it. But what we're doing now is we're taking the letter of the alphabet, and you give me the letter, words that begin with the letter, and I use those words to create the message. So if you want to be in one of my co-authors for Monday's message, we'll be using the letter C. So you can put at any time in this thread a word that begins with the letter C, and then on Monday I'll get that into the message. But today I've got the letter B, and I'm going to give you, and each time I'm also going to wear a T-shirt that has to do with the letter. So you say, this is the type of thing that you want to be doing. You want to have a creative mind, and you all have one. It's just a matter of releasing it and letting yourself put it to good use. So, so this is how I'm doing it. So I've got the B today, and my 3 words are going to be beware, believe, and brave. Beware, believe, and brave. And the reason I start with beware is because right now, false messengers are popping up. Okay, whenever you're in a challenging situation, false messengers will pop up. And so right now, while we're in this stressful position and time in our history, we've got a lot of false messengers coming up. And let me give you one. There's a source I went to called BibleStudyTools.com, and it says that there are 14 top scriptures that mention false messengers. So you don't hide behind the Bible and say, oh, well, false messengers, that's why I read the Bible. No, the Bible reminds you that there are false messengers. Not everybody in there is giving good advice. So make sure that you know how to use your Bible or whoever you choose as your messenger. Remember, I always say that your greatest asset and value to your pastor is that you understand the Bible so you confirm his or her message rather than need to totally get the message from them. Make sure you can confirm it. You can't know everything, but as you listen to their message, you say, you know what? Yeah, that's true. When they quote Bible scripture, you say, oh, I know that scripture. I didn't know how that's how it applied. I was right there. So thank you. And, oh yes, I did think it meant that. And now I get it. Because isn't that the key? You have to get the Bible. You can't just read it. You have to get it. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. But there are 14 top scriptures that are mentioning false teachers. And I just love how synchronicity works. And I call synchronicity just God's, his master plan. And I read my Bible as a part of my daily routine every morning. I meditate, I read my scripture, and that's how what I do before I get into the day, into the the trials and tribulations. I don't listen to the news. I don't check email. I don't look at text messages. I want to connect with my spirit first. And so as it turns out, as I'm reading my Bible, today happened to be the day that I was going to be starting the book of Jeremiah. And the book of Jeremiah has one of the 14 scriptures that mentions false messengers. And that is in Jeremiah 23 and in 16. It says, "This is what the Lord Almighty says. Do not listen to what the prophets are prophesying to you. They fill you with false hopes. They speak visions from their own minds, not from the mouth of the Lord." So again, right now, you got to choose your messengers carefully. You got scammers out there right now talking scams about stimulus checks, scams about healthcare benefits, scams about IRS. So be very mindful of who you listen to right now, because there's someone who can look like they've got the greatest information and going to be the greatest help to you, and they may not be. So here's how it's called choosing your messengers carefully. But here's my suggestion to you on how to choose your messengers. I call it friends. I have one that I call the 5 F's, and the fundamental F's that you need to get through life. And I think that's focus, faith, fun, friends, and freedom. See, so F gets a bad rap, but they're wonderful F's. And when I get to friends, I break that down as an acronym. And friends, FRIENDS. Fun, real, interesting, easy, new, decent, and yourself. Those are actually just characteristics of friendship. The characteristics that you have, whatever they are, they don't have to spell the word friends, but the characteristics that you have and that you like about yourself, those are the types of friends that you look for, and those are the types of messengers that you look for. The ones that feed those characteristics, that tell you that you are being who you are at the highest level that you can be who you are. So that's how you find your messengers. Look for, people say opposites attract when they're looking for mates. No, like attracts like. And so you want to look for someone who has your same interests. Now, that doesn't mean that you shut off any other opinions, but in terms of you actually having a messenger, someone who you get your reliable information from that you can use toward making your life better, choose people that have things in common with you. So those are your friends. Look for the qualities that you value in yourself, and that's what you choose from your messenger. I posted the other day 2 memes. I think it was actually yesterday. One that says, "It's not easy being you, but it's okay. Find a pace you like, then sit back and check yourself out." See, you have a pace. It's not easy being you. See, sometimes we forget that. And, we have to give ourselves credit. We have a tough life. People don't know what we're going through. So it's not easy being you. As they say, would you want to switch problems with somebody else? You don't know. You may have just enough problems, that you can handle, and you really don't need someone looks like they're coasting along just fine. You know what? I want to switch with them. Nope, maybe not. You better stick with yours. It's hard enough being you without having to try to be someone else. And then the second meme said, if you can't be happy by yourself, the most you can be with someone else is content. See, so even right now, as we're talking about quarantine and sequestering one another, being social distancing, a lot of people are, they're going a little crazy right now. But you know what? Come on, y'all. This is a time for you to get comfortable with yourself. Get comfortable with yourself. If you can't be comfortable with yourself, that's what I'm saying. The most you could be with someone else is content, because that means, well, okay, good. Yeah, I got somebody else here. That's just fine. That's what I mean by the most you can be is content. Whereas if you're comfortable with yourself, if you like who you are and you like what you bring to the party, now when someone else comes, you can like you and now you can like what they have. And now y'all can have something going. All right. And that's whether it's a relationship, a friendship, a business partnership. That's everything, y'all. So this is a great time. See, look for the blessing in this time. This is a great, great time to go inside. We do it a lot, but we don't stay there because, oh, I'm meditating. I'm thinking, I got to go take care of this. I got a meeting to go to. And we stop. So use your time valuably right now and really take this time to get a little deeper and knowing yourself. And that's why I appreciate you coming on to the glue. So that's beware. Okay. Choose your messengers carefully. The next B is for believe. And I happen to have a t-shirt that says believe. And look, this is not a political statement, though you can see Barack Obama's picture on there. This was the believe t-shirt when he started his campaign. But this is not a political statement. I'm using it to say, do you know that our ancestors can't imagine what we're going through right now? Ancestors can't imagine what we're going through right now, of every ethnicity. Some couldn't handle that pressure. And so I chose this shirt because we all have ancestors of every color who didn't live to see the first black president. Some of us won't live to see the first woman, the first Hispanic, the first Asian, and every category that we enjoy putting ourselves in as we profess believing in one God. But I'm not beating us on that point. What I'm saying is that we're going through something at a level of concern that our ancestors had about what they were going through. Where we're going through this pandemic and wondering if we can come up with the vaccine. Think back to you. Have you seen those movies where people put rocks on people's back and how they treated the mentally ill and saying that they had a demon? They didn't respect mental illness. And so this is a level. They dealt with something on this level, and we're now dealing with it on a level of something that they had to go through that we may take for granted, or we may have had a solution for. So don't take it as seriously or as scarily as we do right now. I say that to say that they believed. They hung in there. Don't give up. That's the only thing you cannot do. One of my acronyms is for faith, FAITH, feeling as if there's hope, recognizing that the only thing you cannot do is give up. And that's what our ancestors did not do. They didn't give up. They believed. And that's why we're here now to even go through this challenge. But it's partially why some of us are here to go through it. And we have to recognize that there are someone who have ancestors who maybe they did give up. And so you may not have the bloodline that you want to be able to connect to. If you use ancestry.com or one of those things, you'll find out the fight that your parents and their great grandparents went through. Everybody, y'all. All of us have been through something, and we've all got ancestors who believed in us. So now this is our chance to believe in our kids and our neighbors and our brothers and sisters. And yes, you may need to be your brother's keeper right now, because suicide can hide behind this. I call it a disease distraction. That's what this coronavirus also, it's a disease distraction, because suicide can hide behind this. See, don't be distracted by the surface challenge and miss the undercurrent. Someone can be, say, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do about this disease and blah, blah, blah. But they may have been contemplating suicide all along. And see, your faith is being tested harder than it's ever been tested before. And so, that's why I'm saying beware of the undercurrent of someone who just needed something to tip them over that scale, whether it's suicide, whether it's depression, whatever they're going through. Don't let this disease distraction push them over the top. This is where you have to find ways to get positive. And there's a lot of positive going on right now. And please don't be one of the people that fakes the positive. You know, like they say, don't fake the funk. Don't fake the positive. What did you tell me, Heidi? Children mimic adults and mirror them. So therefore, let's find the messengers that we believe in. I am blessed, and I'm happy to say I have been this way all along. I'm not popping up saying, hey, you need to be positive and follow me. You know it. I have been positive before this thing hits. Before this thing hit. And so now to me, I'm excited because I'm getting my faith tested right now. And that's really that's what you want to do in terms of beware and choosing your messengers and believing in yourself. Go back and see, what do I believe in? Look at your track record of resilience and how many things your faith got you through, and recognize that it's going to get you through something else. We've had deaths in the family. We've had hospitalizations. We've had injuries, serious injuries, whether it's a physical injury of some sort, or even, somebody was in a car accident. All of these things go under the same umbrella, y'all, of challenges. And your faith has gotten you through. So trust yourself right now again. So that's why I say your faith is being tested harder than it's ever been tested before. Or is it? Or is it? See, you have to think about that. Again, if you look back at the things that you've been through, we say, wait a minute, my faith was tested pretty hard back then. Well, this is a new test. Give yourself credit for what you went through before. So the first poem I'm going to read to you is actually, this was written through the eyes of women in a job skills program in Chicago, where I helped them believe that there was no hope. I helped them believe that there was no hope for turning their lives around if they didn't know what or who they believed in. There's no hope for turning your life around if you don't know what or who you believe in. So when I wrote this poem, I gave that formula that I gave you about creating a message, and our theme was thanks. They gave me words. I went around the room and had each person give me a word beginning with one of the letters in the word thanks, THANKS. Excuse me. That was a belch, not a cough. Don't worry, I ain't going to touch you and I ain't going to touch the screen and socially distance. But what I did was have them, I pointed a person, I said, give me a word with N, give me a word with K, and give each one of them a letter, and I got their words into the poem. I'm not going to highlight the words, but that's what made the poem. And then remember, the source of this poem is being written, and what my gift is, what God has gifted me with, is I wrote through their eyes. So this poem is not me talking, it's them talking about thanks. And so we called the poem New Life. My angel woke me up again this morning, and as we spiritually spoke, we shared no words. Yet, as I thought about my need for triumph and blessings, the voice of happiness is what I heard. It was a new voice, true, full of strength, yet kind and humble, and it reminded me that the road to success was created to make us stumble. Now, this voice advised me to replace my stress with myself, to build upon my Savior's gift of treasure, to recognize that not too deep within my soul was a knowing heart, supplied with grace beyond measure, to keep hate out of my life, recognizing it as HATE, hurt attached to expectation. Instead, to try to be honest, HATE, honest, amorous, trusting, energetic, and reduce ongoing anger to monetary frustration. For the blessing of today makes yesterday more clear. The holiness of this moment ignites my soul so well. I enjoy this season of Thanksgiving and sing praise every day for Noel. I've got another chance to make a difference in my life. It could be my best or even my last. You see, my angel woke me up again this morning, as it's done every day. Hallelujah, in the past. So that's New Life. And again, if you like a copy of the poem, just send me your email address to Uncle Sporty at gmail.com. That way I can just hit reply and send you a copy of it. And you'll see that I capitalized all the words that began with THANK or S. And those were the words that the ladies gave me. And I used it to create that message. But that's what I'm talking about. Every day is a new life. See how, now that was written, gosh, in 1998. No, 1999. And here that message is applicable to today. And that's why I'm saying we've got a track record of belief that we can fall back on. And so my last, and that was from my book, Your Name Came to Mind. And so my last B of today is brave. And the reason I chose brave is because you know what? I want to remind you that you do one of the bravest things that anybody can do. You do it every day. And that is lie your head down and go to sleep. Now, it doesn't matter whether you do it in the evening or having a daydream, taking a nap. Whenever you lay down to go to sleep, that's brave because you might not wake up again. Not a death wish, everybody, just to recognize them. If we can just find these little things to make us chuckle and laugh and say, yeah, because a lot of times you say, nah, I don't have anything going. Yeah, you've got something going. You're brave. On Wednesday, we talked about attitude. That's one of the attitudes that you have to recognize that you have. You're brave enough to go to sleep. And it goes right with, as it turned out, I had this in my message already, but my sister Zette, when she was the first one on the broadcast, she wrote TGIF and I wrote back TGIT. And see, my bravery letter is for my TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Because the gift, the blessing of God, that we can wake up, go through a whole day, and get the chance to go to sleep and wake up and do it again tomorrow, that's a blessing. That's what we can believe in. That's where we don't have to be aware of how important our faith is to us. That's where we can know just how brave we really are and show it to ourselves. So remember that you have to recognize the bravery in you so that you can go back to that thing I talked about with friends and find the qualities that you value so that you can choose your right messengers. Believe me, y'all, the messages always come together when we put everything together. And that's why I try to break it down. In this case, we had 3 words. And, maybe you'll give me more words, and I'm going to look at those before I go and hit a quick note on it right now. But this last poem that I'm going to read that connects to the bravery, and I love how I wrote this poem in 1989, and it's similar to the New Life one. And this was from my original book. My first book was called I Found Out I'm Dying, a celebration of life. And this goes back to what I was saying to you about the disease distraction. The distraction in this book title is that we get caught up in the headlines. I found out I'm dying. Oh my God, this book is about dying? No, the subtitle says a celebration of life. See, I Found Out I'm Dying is a book about the fact that physically we're all dying from the day we're born. Get over it. One day you won't be here. So the book is not about dying at all. It's recognizing that, wait a minute, I know that I'm going to die one day, so let me celebrate life while I'm here. Everybody loves the cliche about every day on this side of the ground is a good one. Then why aren't you living that way? This is a good day, y'all. And so that's what the book is about. All the poems are about living, about enjoying life. And in fact, when I dedicated the book, I dedicated it to my family, and I listed the names of my family members at the time. Okay, so that's the thing that you have to do so you can be creative. I'll help you find ways to stay creative. But in this book, this poem that I'm going to close with is talking about that bravery, and it's the poem called You Woke Me Up Again. And it was actually created from my daily affirmation of being thankful for the gift and blessing of life. Now, it looked like I was reading that from the book. I am. What I do in my books, or when I write a poem, I'll tell you why I wrote the poem. That way, you can apply it to different situations in your life. And so that's one of the things that I hope to do. And I did that in 3 of my 4 books of poetry. The other one I gave a theme for the group of poems, but normally I'll write about why I'm getting ready to pen a certain poem or a group of poems, or afterwards I might say, if you go back and look at that poem, you'll see this. And what that does is remember when we were in English class and we took poetry and we had the poetic interpretation, and you say, well, I think the poet is saying this, and then the teacher got the last word. The teacher had said, well, no, this is what the poet is saying. And no one ever asked the poet. The teacher's interpretation got the last word. And what that can do, let me give a shout out. I love you, teachers. Let's give a shout out to them, but let's also recognize that teachers, we have to continue to remember that you're learning from your students. You may have a creative child who sees something in a poem. And now let's take this weight off of teachers. Let's look at everybody. They may see something in a poem. And so when they interpret it, and then somebody else, an adult, usually says, well, no, that's wrong. This is what they meant. Do you know that you squash that person's creativity? They say, well, you know what? Next time I won't volunteer. I won't say what I saw. So what I'm doing with my poetry, I believe that if someone reads a poem of mine and they say, oh, I think he's saying this, and then I say, this is what I was saying, they're like, whoa, I got it. Now that may encourage them to go on and write their poetry. Versus someone telling them, nope, you didn't get the right message. They may back off when in fact they were more accurate than what you said the poem was about. Because what the interpretation is, what? It's based on how you see life. It's based on the lens that you're looking through at life through right now. And in that moment, and I went to right now because right now we are looking through a different lens. So what we need to do is not worry about the lens somebody else has. Let's get it through our lens, and let's find a way to turn that lens into a positive thing. So this poem is called You Woke Me Up Again. And it's a poem that I wrote to God as I thought about, again, my daily affirmations and how I go through starting my day. You woke me up again. You know what kind of day I had yesterday. You know what I did, and you know what I didn't do. You gave me suggestions, opened doors, reminded me, made me question myself while giving me hope, and you even changed my mind. I quoted you, thought about and thanked you. I even damned you. You woke me up anyway and granted me the illusion that I might continue to flourish among your creation. See, one of my prayers every morning I say, and I'm laying in my bed before I even get up, I say, Lord, thank you for waking me up again this morning and allowing me the vision that I might flourish among your creation. I say that every morning. And I say it's a vision because, see, I'm not looking to just exist. I'm looking to flourish. And I'm looking to flourish because I know that I'm one of God's messengers. And I want to be able to carry his word so that it can help people. But how do I do that? I have to first help myself. I have to believe in who I am. You can't trust anybody if you don't trust yourself. So we have to go inside physically, mentally, spiritually. Please, y'all, take care of yourself and you will take care of a whole range of people, because you've got so many people looking at you and looking to you for guidance that you don't even know about. And so if you're not taking care of yourself, you're so busy, well, I'm trying to help so and so, and you're busy trying to help so and so. And in the process of doing that, you let yourself go. And then this other person was watching you, and then they see how you let yourself go and they give up. So take care of yourself. In the long run, you're going to be able to help that person that you've been trying to help. Because just because you didn't help them today doesn't mean that what you are doing to administer that help isn't going to work for tomorrow. Doctors, even after you go through an operation, you don't get up and walk out the same day in most cases, depending on your operation. That's why they have now what's called inpatient care, blah, blah, blah. You have a recovery period. So the doctors have to operate and believe that they're helping you for the long run. Your therapist, if you're in therapy, go to your therapist. Now you can get virtual online therapy. Come on, y'all. There's no reason for us to crumble in this time. There's a reason for us to step up and look at our resources and see ourselves as one of the resources. So every day I wake up and I thank God that it's today. And I thank God that I'm going to make it through the night because I believe that I'm going to. And if I don't, I won't know it. So it's really about, again, finding that thing that can make you laugh and get yourself through. You're helping a lot of people. You're helping a lot of people by joining in on this broadcast. You can help more people by sharing it. Don't ever worry about asking me if you can share my broadcast, my poems, my newsletters. Share everything that I have, because anything that I don't want you to share, you won't know. And if you bust me on something that I didn't want you to share, oh, well, I'm just busted. And maybe that needed to be shared. Okay. So let's recognize that this is actually a time of joy, y'all. It's a tough time, but tough times are made for tough people. And we're tough. We've gotten through a lot of stuff before, and we're going to make it through this one. So, I'll be extending my glue during this quarantine pandemic. I'll be extending it so that it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday instead of just Wednesday. And so if you like a PDF copy of either of the poems that I read today, or if you go back and look at the other broadcasts and you want the poem that I wrote on that day, just send me an email. And I know it doesn't matter how many times I write it. Somebody's just going to write in the comments, yeah, please send me one. I'm still going to say it though. Send me an email to unclesporty@gmail.com. What that does, again, gosh, you're saving me some work, y'all. I'm trying to get through this myself. I can just click reply and attach the poem so we can get right, efficient. Cool on Wednesday, cool, where I had said, we were talking about attitude, and I said, what's something you like about yourself? And he wrote, I'm efficient. See, and that's what we want to do. You want to have systems that can help you be efficient. And that's going to get me through the day. If I can efficiently just answer you and keep it moving, guess what? Again, I can help more people. I want to help you, but I can help more people. I can bring more value. And so can you. Because when you share, sometimes just in that moment that you wait for my answer that I might not be able to give you or I might miss, don't trust social media all the way. And you may think you can't share it. And that was just the thing that you needed to share to help somebody make that choice to enjoy themselves. So make sure that you do that. Monday, we'll be using the letter C. So if you want your word in the message, please put it in the thread. If you like a word with, include, okay, let me see. If you like a word with the letter C, include it in the message, put it in the thread, and I'll see if I can co-author. Meanwhile, as our message today, be smart, and I'll see you Monday. Have a safe and savvy Saturday and Sunday. And thank you for knowing that glue is GLUE. God's love undoes everything. Ciao. Oh, you know what? While y'all on, I said I was going to do this. I'm going to quickly go look through, okay, who's giving me a C word. Joaquina has, great, because it's one of my favorite words is challenge. Recognize that challenge is just change with an LLE in the middle. CHALLENGE. And then our LLE is LLE, life's learning experiences. What lessons can you learn from this experience that you're being challenged by? And recognize that you just need to change some things or change the way you look at them, and that could be just what you need to overcome the challenge. So I'll get that in the message. Okay, carry on. Well, yes, thank you. Scamming the seniors. Thanks. And let me throw that in. Scamming the seniors. That's very important. So yeah, be your brother's keepers. Look out for your senior people. And remember, seniors start at 55. Cut. You don't need to wait for somebody to be real old. I always tell people my father died of Alzheimer's and I have the gene. So I don't beat myself up when I forget stuff. Y'all who are receiving my monthly fun letter, I don't call it a newsletter, it's a fun letter. If you're not subscribed, let me know. And it's called The Golden Brick Road, reminding seasoned citizens to enjoy this life in this day. Okay. So again, God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in. And again, put some C words in the thread and I'll make sure that I co-author and get you in the message on Monday. Ciao. Love you.